folks. Well, we're at it again. So today we're gonna make some cinnamon rolls that you could all have for your Thanksgiving morning. And I'm gonna give you some tips how you can do that. But we'll go over everything, but we're gonna get started here with a visit from Miss Mamie, because she's so excited to come visit today and let y'all see what she's up to. And believe it or not, she got more jewelry yesterday at the church boutique. So she's anxious to show it off.
I told you I could get more.
Well, she's got more. So Mamie, come on in. So Mamie, we're making cinnamon rolls today.
Cinnamon rolls. Ooh, I
Because
love
I know
those.
you like them, but anyway, I told the folks that you went to the boutique yesterday at the church. So what do you have to show for it?
Ooh la la.
Oh my word. This is all from the church boutique. I bet it cost you a fortune.
No, not
No?
really. Do
No.
I ever buy something for a fortune? No.
Well,
Not
you
me.
like the nice things, but anyway, Mamie,
Yeah.
what happened to your hair? You talk about my hair. What happened to yours?
Well,
It's got some white
some
streaks
white
in it.
stuff. I went white overnight.
Wow.
Or I got-
Are you under stress or something?
Sometimes.
Really?
I'm working with you. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding.
That should be your pleasure.
Pleasure and joy, and yes, it's all
Yes.
good. It's
And,
all good.
and then, is this, what kind of hat? We've seen this before.
Yeah,
But explain it.
You'll see it again, I think.
Okay.
Really, yeah. I just like it. I don't even know where I got it, but obviously I didn't pay a lot for it. I would have remembered that.
Well,
right?
were you ever a member of the Red Hatters?
No, I've
No.
never been that old. No.
No, I didn't want to be one of those either.
Purple and
'cause
red.
Who wants to walk around with purple and red hats and go out to eat? And not that we're making fun of it.
No,
It's
no.
just not
we
us.
love them.
I had a dream last night, Mamie,
Did you?
that I was playing tennis with you.
Ah,
And-
I like.
I was showing off.
I think
I
she
was
would. She
creaming.
would.
I was creaming that tennis ball, and trying to be a show off.
Yeah, trying to.
And I was, by the
put
way.
me in.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know that could happen. I haven't played tennis in a long time. A lot of you who knew me from the way past knew that I like tennis.
She's an athlete, I
But
tell you.
Mamie's a good tennis player too.
Oh, she doesn't even know. She's never seen me.
But I've heard about her. So
Well,
anyway, this is a pretty necklace.
it is. Wow, I thought that was just.
It looks like a
right
bunch
there.
of balloons.
Oh yeah, hot air balloons. That's probably what it, yeah, that's probably what it is. Hot air
Have
balloons.
you noticed around here there's been a lot of hot air balloons?
Yes, just the perfect weather.
But I hear it's really cold up there though,
I think so.
because we've been having temperatures in the 40s. So that's pretty cold for us.
That's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, cinnamon rolls, we are going to sell them again on Saturday. And they are the best. She can make the best big cinnamon rolls, and people, they are to die for, let me tell you that. So if you want some cinnamon rolls, come by the farm to table at Church on the Green parking lot,
8 to 11.
8 to 11.
If there's any left.
If there's any left, we just don't, they go really
Yeah.
fast.
They do.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm gonna make today, I learned this recipe from my grandma, who was the best baker ever, Mamie.
Mm-hmm.
You probably had good bakers in your family, being that you're Deutsch as well.
I never knew that my grandmother,
Oh,
either
that
one
was-
of them.
That's not fun.
I know.
Well, I knew mine, and my grandma was about 5'5", a little fat, roly-poly, with sparkling blue eyes, big red cheeks,
Really?
and she was the sweetest lady. And everything that I've learned about cooking and baking, I learned from her.
Okay, thank you.
And
You
so-
did it well.
When I do these kind of things, it makes me happy to
Think about your grandma.
about grandma.
Yeah. Well, one more thing before I go behind the camera.
Okay.
Would you please turn around and see if you did your hair good?
Oh, okay. Did I?
Well, not so good.
Well, maybe.
But it's her.
I was busy today.
Yeah,
Again.
I tell you, she's been busy buying groceries like she does.
We
But-
catered yesterday for the Nebraska Club. And we did something that I had never heard of before. And I don't think you have either. We made homemade runzas. And it's very famous in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And explain to the people what it was, Mamie.
Well, we had this little dough that I rolled out and to make about that big, and she had made this wonderful dish of ground beef and cabbage and onion
Right.
and seasonings,
Right.
and we put that inside that dough, and we rolled it up and turned it upside down, and she baked it. It was fantastic.
Right. It really was.
It was.
And you know what? Why I asked, because I'd never heard of runzas. I said, what's the point? Well, in Nebraska, there's a lot of farmers. That's the majority of people that are farmers. And the way that this sandwich was, when we rolled it up, it was like a pocket. So what they would do, the people would bake them in the kitchen, and then they would run them out to the field, and the men or whomever, the workers, could hold them and have a hand sandwich, pocket sandwich. And it was very nutritious, very filling. And I'll tell you, I'd do it again.
I like that. I wish my dad had known about that, or my mother, so she could have taken that out to
Right.
the cotton trader or the cotton field. But it was good.
That's
And
right, because your daddy was a farmer.
He was
huh?
a farmer,
Yeah.
and alfalfa and cotton. And so anyway, we're gonna stop now,
Okay.
and I will be back, and she's gonna do this right.
Okay, thank you. You know, there's nothing really more comforting than homemade cinnamon rolls in the morning. When people wake up to the smell of the cinnamon as it's cooking in the oven, so delicious. So we're going to show you what we're going to do. In order to get the cinnamon rolls, what I've done is I've taken, for this recipe, I'm only making a single recipe. So I took a cup of half and half. Yeah, I said half and half. And a half a cup of sugar, 1 cube of butter, and 5 eggs. Now, I know a lot of the recipes call for 2 eggs. I like to use 5 eggs because I like the richness of the egg. I like the way it lifts the dough, and it gives it such a beautiful flavor. It's kind of like a challah bread that our good friends, the Jewish people, make, and it's wonderful as well. So I take that and I put it in a saucepan and I bring it to about 120 degrees, or basically until the butter is melted. And as that's going, once it begins to cool, I'll add the 4 eggs. We don't want to put the eggs into the liquid at first because it could scramble. And so we want to just temper the eggs in. So we'll do that. And while that's happening, I take my glass measuring cup and I add a half a cup of water from the faucet to where it's nice and warm, not scalding hot, but still hot. And then I'll add to that 2 teaspoons of yeast, and I add a little bit of sugar in there to feed the yeast. And then I let it sit for about 10 minutes till it rises, because like I've said before, if it doesn't rise, it's dead and it'll ruin everything. So make sure you get a nice foamy top on that. And then I added here, I'm using my KitchenAid mixer. Now, some of you may not have that, so you're gonna have to mix it in your hand mixer or mix it by hand. But I'm privileged enough to have this mixer. This was my mother-in-law's mixer, and it means a lot to me to have it because it was hers. So I've taken our milk, our half and half, and our yeast, and I've added it to this. And then I have the paddle. You want to show them the paddle, Mamie, on this? I have the paddle of the mixer on that. And I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to add about 4 cups of bread flour. Remember bread flour, because it's more high in gluten.
Bread flour.
Bread. So I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to let it run for a while. And then while that's happening, I'm going to get some more flour. Oh, here it is right behind me. And notice I'm using this measuring cup for the flour. So I'm going to begin with the mixer, with the beater. Whoop, and I don't want to get it all over Mamie's clean floor. I just did. And I'm going to, that's one, that we've had 4, and this is another one.
That makes it have plenty of liquid, right?
Yeah. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up to high speed because I really want to get a high gluten. And then we'll switch over to our dough hook. But I want you to see how it's going to come up and it's going to separate from the pan. And we're getting a really nice yield of our dough. So let's let that run a little bit. I know that's noisy, but you really want this. And you'll begin to feel your bowl here, and it's warm because that is doing its job, the mixer. So we're just going to let that happen. I'm going to switch out from the paddle to the dough hook. And we're not done yet. We're going to add more flour. But like I said, I wanted to get the majority of our flour, bring it up to, we have a really nice, this is such a beautiful dough.
And you know, that's awfully icky. If I had to put that on my hands, oh my word.
Well, Mamie, I know how you are. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
but I know you could do it. So I'm going to add on my dough hook. I'm going to bring that, I'm going to add a cup of flour to it right now, to that.
Okay, that's kind of like you have a hook, like when I did like crocheting or something, I had a hook.
Oh,
so that you
well,
have
this is a dough hook. If you don't have it, this is when you start kneading in the flour by hand. But let's go ahead and, whoa, that flour comes back at me. I always forget to do that. I'll probably have to clean the floor. But anyway, we're going to run this dough hook, and then we're going to slowly add the flour. Let's see what happens here. Because you'll know when it's ready when it pulls away from the bowl. And this is happening now. So let's just run it for a while. And then see maybe how it's going away from the side of the bowl.
Oh yeah.
And that's what we want. And then every once in a while I'm going to just with my fingers, I'm just going to add a little more flour because we want a little bit more. And then we're going to let it run for about 5 minutes. And then we'll come back after it's done, but it's kind of hard when it's loud. But I'll show you what it looks like before we put it in a bowl of rice. But we're just going to let this run for about 5 minutes.
And I tell you what, these cinnamon rolls people really nearly fight over them. They come to the cinnamon table and they say, the cinnamon roll table, and say, they're all gone already? So anyway, this recipe is fantastic.
Okay, we've done kneading the dough. I'm going to put a little bit of bench flour on this, and I'm going to remove our dough hook, remove our dough, get rid of that. This is a sticky mess, but it's fun. Because remember how we used to like to do mud pies? Did you ever do mud pies, Mamie?
I did.
You actually got, Mamie, she dropped her way into my butter. Good thing I don't care. But Mamie, how did you possibly do mud pies when you don't like to get your hands dirty like this?
Well, that was a different era of my life, and I
Okay.
liked it because I walked in mud when it rained and all that. But I
Okay.
know that you told me to rub this with butter.
Right.
I can't do that. I'm
So
sorry.
you had to
I-
use a spoon?
I used a spoon.
Okay, that's
And
okay.
so-
And you notice it's nicely buttered. That's
Yeah,
good.
it is nicely buttered.
And that's the main thing, Mamie.
Does it have to be clear to the top? 'Cause
No, because it's the bottom.
Okay,
So,
that's a lot of butter.
but that's good. That'll just go into the dough.
Okay.
You know what I say? You can be a good cook. Anybody can be a good cook.
If you
Use a
enough
nice butter. And I'm going to tell you where I got this quote, because I'll never forgot it.
Okay.
I got it from my sister-in-law Valerie's sweet mother. She's the one that gave me that quote. And I guess she was quite the cook and baker herself. So I've got the bench flour here on the, you're not going to drop it in there again, are you?
Oh.
Once is okay, but
Almost.
twice.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's
Okay. So this dough, Mamie, this dough is absolutely gorgeous. Feel it. Now that is a nice dough. It's so soft and fluffy.
Can you show them the dough? Because the camera, I can't move it
There's
right now.
our beautiful dough. It is so, I wish you could feel it. You know, there's something about, it's very comforting to me to feel dough. It just brings back memories of my youth and something that I really love to do, especially when it feels like so good.
You know, I have a little side thing here that one time I saw a show about losing weight,
Yeah.
and they actually had huge pieces of fat that looked just like this, that it said, you know, if you're not careful, that's a
But
kind of...
Mamie,
Well,
don't compare my cinnamon dough. No wonder you're going to lose your wig. My cinnamon dough to fat. It'll give people the wrong impression.
oh, okay, excuse me for doing
And maybe try to keep your hat on.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we got this all nicely formed. We're going to put it in this beautiful bowl that Mamie buttered, and believe me, there's a lot of butter. With a spoon. We're going to put it in, drop it in here,
Okay.
spread it out. I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap or a towel, and we'll probably leave it on the counter for about an hour for it to raise. But I failed to mention before I put it in the bowl as I was bringing the dough together, that would be the time when you were going to do this hand knead that you could add your raisins or nuts. I prefer not to do that because I like a simple regular cinnamon roll, but I know a lot of people like raisins. But the reminder on the raisins, if you do it, be sure you soak them in hot water first so they soften up, and then they'll be such a nice in your cinnamon roll.
Oh, good. Okay. Are we stopping for right now?
Oh, do you have anything else you want to say? Because I'm afraid about that hair of yours.
I think maybe I should go pin it on. So we'll
Okay, well, we're going to be back in about an hour so that this dough will rise. It's a nice day here. The kitchen's about 72, so it should be fine. Okay, see you soon. Hey, Mamie, we're getting ready to form the rolls. Can you believe how the dough has risen?
Oh, wow.
Now that is a full rise on that.
Beautiful.
So beautiful, so soft. So I'm going to dump it over. I'm going to put a little bench flour on here. So when we work with it, and then I want you to come in because I want you to be part of this. We're going to dump this. Like, look at that.
Oh.
That just came out like butter.
Ooh,
Of course, there's enough butter in there to float a boat.
Yeah, my butter did good, didn't it?
It did great.
Okay.
So we're going to just kind of move this around a little bit. That's why I put a little bit of the bench flour on there. Mamie, I want you to feel this. You just have to.
Okay.
All right, the dough is here. And before we start, Mamie, I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon to the bottom of the pan because I like the bottoms to caramelize a little bit. And gives it good flavor. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of brown sugar. And then that'll give the bottom be crunchy and sweet. So now we've got this beautiful dough. Feel it. Now, what do you think of that?
I like
Is
it.
it like a baby's bottom, but even Well, it's sort of, maybe it's soft.
Well, let's don't put the baby's bottom down. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna cut this in half, so go ahead and cut that in half. Okay? Get down in there and give it a good cut. Perfect. Beautiful. And then when I'm gonna do this one, you do this one. Or just kind of roll them up like this in a little ball. See how beautiful that is?
Mm.
Okay, and then you're gonna
Yours
just,
is more beautiful than mine.
well, we'll just show you how to do that.
Okay.
You just kind of take your
Tuck it
hands
in.
and form it
Okay.
and tuck it in. Okay, we'll just put that aside. Now, I want you to roll this out and get in. Boy, that is, you can see the air in that. That thing is as light as a feather.
Really?
Boy, that's gonna make nice cinnamon rolls.
I guess my kitchen is just right temperature, huh?
Well, what I did, because it is a little cool, I turned the oven on just for a minute
Oh.
and I warmed it and then I put it in there and then it just, perfect. That is a beautiful roll, Mamie.
Ah.
Beautiful roll. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, that's probably good enough. We're gonna kind of shake it a little bit. There. Then you're gonna take and you're gonna pour some butter on that, okay?
Oh.
Go ahead. Some
My
butter.
word,
And
this
don't
is
be
gonna
skimpy.
rich.
Well, yeah, look at that butter. And I'm probably gonna have to do this a little more, because you're not gonna wanna get your hands in it.
You're right, you're right.
But I'm taking and I'm gonna spread the butter all around. And then the next thing we're gonna do is add brown sugar. I don't use white sugar in this, I only use brown. I like the caramelization from now maybe, wait a minute, hold on, I goofed.
Oh, you goofed.
You gotta add cinnamon first.
No, no, no.
And we're gonna add plenty of cinnamon because these are cinnamon rolls.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay.
I'll let him out. Okay, you finish there and I'll stop when you
Okay, there. So you notice we have a lot of cinnamon on this. You know, I had a lady that worked with me at the church, and when she made cinnamon rolls, she just leisurely, nonchalantly just sprinkled a little bit on there.
Oh my.
And I said, that's not a cinnamon roll. You gotta have cinnamon in it. So
Yeah.
anyway, this is a lot of cinnamon on top of the butter. Now, Mamie, you wanna add the brown sugar, because that won't cause your
Won't wear my
hands to.
rings.
No, and it won't get your hands all messy.
Okay.
See, like mine are all messy,
Ooh.
because I patted the cinnamon into the
Oh,
butter.
man.
Maybe a little more generous than this.
More generous?
This is cinnamon rolls, and they're supposed to taste good. And they're not going to
my
taste good
goodness.
if they don't have plenty of sugar on them. Unfortunately, these aren't low calories, so don't even go looking for them. More than that, please.
I believe we will not need to eat food otherwise than these for 4 days.
Well, no, they're not as bad as you think.
Ooh, they're good though.
Yeah, that's what makes them good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna pat our sugar. Probably not gonna have enough for the next one. Okay, we've got our sugar and our cinnamon and our butter. And then we're gonna take the end here, like this. And we're going to, do you want to do this?
No.
Okay, you
You
wanna
can do it.
just watch. You're gonna take it and you're gonna tuck it
Tuck it.
and tuck it
Tuck it.
and keep going and tucking it
Okay.
and bring it back towards you when you're
Oh.
as you're tucking it, because you want to get a lot of rolls in there to make it look really pretty. So see how it's splitting? Don't worry about that.
No worries.
That's because the dough is so rich. And then just keep patting as you go and add and tuck and add and tuck and add. Okay, now we've got the seam on the bottom. We're going to take the ends here and tuck them in, tuck them all under. See how we did that, Mamie? And then I roll it like this to get a real nice on the bottom. So that looks really pretty. Now the decision is this.
What?
Do you want to make a big cinnamon roll, or do you want to make little ones?
Well, let's try little ones. I've never seen little ones.
They're not as impressive.
They're not.
No.
Can you make some of both?
Yeah, we can make one pan of big and one pan of little.
All right.
Okay, now I'm going to cut these, and remember how I told you to form them. So I'm going to cut them like about here, and there is our cinnamon roll.
Oh, wow.
And then you're going to take the tail, which is this, and you're going to push it under. You're going to tuck it under there like that. Push it down, and you're going to put that in your pan. We're going to go 2, 4, 6 in this pan, okay?
Okay.
Can you do that? Okay. So go ahead and pull it, and then tuck it, and then push it down. Oh, these are
Oh, I
good.
have to hold it?
Yeah, you have to hold it, maybe, and then put it under. Perfect. And push it down. Push them a little bit.
Okay.
Get them a little bit there, because they want to have
little
room
space. Okay.
so that they will bake nice.
Okay. I think I can get over here.
Okay, then I'm gonna and we're gonna put that there, like that. And then I'm gonna make Is it going? Okay. We're still tucking away here. And here's your last one. Why don't you do that one, Mamie? Whoa, I just undid it a little bit. Okay, you go ahead and finish that off and put it in there.
You got the
Okay.
tail.
And then you just push it down. Perfect.
Look, they came apart.
Tail. Okay, well, sometimes that happens, but that's okay. So, there's our first pan of cinnamon rolls. See how pretty they are? And we're gonna push it aside, because these have to raise now. And maybe we're gonna have to make another pan. So can you help us with that? We need one more.
Oh, another pan?
Yeah, or I could use this one.
Well, we go get.
This
That's
one is-
okay. That's awfully
We'll use
pretty.
this beautiful pan here.
Okay.
Add a little bit of cinnamon to the bottom of the pan. This is going to be a pretty one. This would be real pretty if you were giving it away.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of brown sugar.
And that's all the brown sugar we have?
Yeah, so we're going to have to add some white sugar to this
Okay.
because we don't have enough brown. And if you have to do that, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So I will, over here is sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and I will get it. And I will add some more. I'll just put a little like that. Now, because we're short on brown sugar, we'll use some white. So again, it's just rolling it out. Same idea, but see how this dough just works with you? It is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, then we're gonna take again and add our butter. And you notice, I don't know if you can tell this color, Mamie. Tell me what differentiates this butter from what you've seen in the past.
Seems like it's from Italy.
No, but what about the color?
The color is, I guess it's more yellow.
It's more yellow, that's
More
right,
yellow.
because this is our butter from Ireland.
Ireland.
And it has a lot of, it's a different type of milk in it.
Well, don't they have good butter in Italy?
Oh yeah, but this just happened to be that we bought this Irish butter at Costco.
Oh,
So
okay.
plenty of cinnamon again, you notice that?
Okay.
Then, there's a marshmallow in the
That was to keep the sugar from
Right,
getting real hard,
which is a
right?
great idea.
Okay.
You always put something in your brown sugar to keep it from getting hard. So we'll just go ahead and finish off this brown sugar. I'm just going to add a little of the white because there was more in
Not
there
quite
than I
enough.
thought.
Okay.
But we'll add a little white to it too. And then we're ready here. And again, I'm gonna push it down to get it all in there. Now you could, if you wanted, you could do this too, but whatever you want. But you wanna pack in the sugar. Then I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna do the same thing as we did before, so we won't show you that. But what I wanna tell you about cinnamon rolls, once they rise, and they'll do a double rise, and it'll be probably 35 minutes because you want them to have a nice rise on there. Then you can go ahead and bake them until they're golden brown. Every oven is different, so I don't want to give you an actual time, but probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and they'll be nice and brown. And if you don't want to get up at, if you want to serve these in the morning, and you don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to do the rolls, you could do all of this that we've just done, and then you could, once they've done the rise, you could bake them in the oven just until they begin to turn a little bit light brown, just a little. Then you can take them out and cover them. This is the night before. Cover them with foil, leave them on the counter, and in the next morning, you can turn your oven back on and you can finish baking your cinnamon rolls just till they're nice and golden brown, and then we'll show you how we do the icing. But that'll save you from getting up so that means you could do it like the night before, which is kind of nice because in the morning you're kind of busy. But this way, when your family gets up, they'll have nice, warm, hot cinnamon rolls. So that's just a nice little tip to help you. And then don't waste your brown sugar when it comes out. Put it in the bottom of your pan. Now, if you wanted to, this would be the time, if you wanted to go make a caramel roll, this would be the time where you would take your brown sugar and your milk, your cream, vanilla, and you would mix it all together and make a caramel sauce. And then you could, on the bottom here, you could spread pecans and then put your caramel sauce over that, and then go ahead and put your cinnamon rolls on that.
Is this the kind of roll that we're going to have to sell on Saturday?
This is it. This is your roll.
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, let's cut these. So you want me to make these smaller? Is that what you were saying?
Let's do that.
Okay, so we'll just make them like this then. And again, I'll take it and I'll tuck the tail in, push them down. 6 big ones. So
8 smaller, 6
Yeah.
big ones.
Yeah. Now this is just a but, so I know we're not supposed to use that word, but that's the word that you use for something at the end.
Is that cooking? It's okay in cooking.
Well, yeah,
Use that word.
but we're not going to keep this dough.
Okay.
So then we're going to take our bench scraper and we're going to scrape this all.
Yes, and I just learned about a bench scraper since I got acquainted with you. I never knew there was such a thing as a bench scraper, or any of our family. I've
They're
never heard
very
of it.
handy, aren't they, Mamie?
They really are. I've learned to
Okay.
like them if I can remember to use it.
So there we go. There's our other pan. That's 8. Okay, look at these rolls, Mamie. They are ready to go into the oven. Look at, you push them and it bounces right back.
Do that again.
You push them and it bounces right back. You know they're ready. So these are the large ones we made. I don't know to whom's getting those. And then these are the smaller ones, but they're still beauties as well. Look at those. So we're going to put these in the oven. And what we did also, Mamie made some cream cheese icing. You got to have cream cheese icing on cinnamon rolls. And Mamie, tell the folks how you made it.
Let's see. What did I do? I think I put butter in there.
Yes.
And I put powdered sugar.
Yes.
And cream cheese.
Yes.
And
what?
vanilla.
Vanilla. Yes.
White vanilla.
Yes. White vanilla always. So that's our cream cheese icing ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these beauties in the oven. And then when they're done and they're iced, they're ready to go.
Voila.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over here and get this going. And these are going to be delicious.
They are.
These are gorgeous. I'm really liking the way these look. And now we get to have the pleasure of the house smelling wonderful. New to me. Don't you think you'll show well, later on when we take the rolls out of the oven, you can show, oh, can you do it like that?
Well, I guess I can't.
Okay, well, when we take the rolls out of the oven, we'll show them your hair again.
All right.
They're gonna look like, I guess I know why you're doing it. Because it's got cream cheese icing.
That's it.
And your hair matches
That's it.
cream cheese. We're gonna check on our cinnamon rolls to see how they're doing. And let's look at those.
Whoa.
Now, are those beauties or
Beauties.
what? So they got about another 10 minutes because we want them to be golden brown. But I wanted you to see, you can't get those at Cinnabon.
No, you cannot.
No.
Look at how huge.
I know, someone's gonna have maybe that probably has your name on it right
I think
there.
it does. There.
Right, so let's let them cook a little
Right.
more and then we'll be ready to go. And remember what I said, when I bring them out, we're gonna put the icing on them right away so it drenches inside. Amy, the cinnamon rolls are out of the oven now.
Ooh,
Look at them. Look at them, Mamie. The cream cheese that we're going to put on the cinnamon rolls matches your hair. Oh, was that the plan?
Does my hair show that white hair?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was
But
trying.
anyway, what I'd like you to do, Mamie, you can see how beautiful these cinnamon rolls are. Can you see them, folks? Let me hold them up.
Raise them up. It's hard
And
to get us in
look
there.
at those. Are those beauties or what? Now, I'm going to have Mamie frosted. Remember I told you we have the cream cheese icing here, which matches her hair, by the way. I'm going to have Mamie put them on the rolls, and when they're hot, they do better. They'll soak in. Be generous now, Mamie. They'll be hot.
Am I
and
drizzle?
No. Just
No?
glob it on. I'm going to get a spatula to spread on those
Okay,
while you do that.
okay.
So you go ahead and put on each one, and then I'm going to swirl them around. So let's take the camera off of us a little bit, and let's put it on the star.
Okay, all right.
Can we do
Just
that?
A minute. Yeah.
Because they can see our hands, you putting them on, and a little bit lower. Perfect. Okay, now, this is the whole fun of it. There you go, that's good. So you go ahead and finish putting on the icing, and I'm gonna swirl them around, and then we like gooey cinnamon rolls. Now, if you didn't want to do this, or if you're watching your sugar or calories, you could, that's good. You could just put butter on them, which would be delicious. Now, these are all done, they're gooey. And what we're gonna do here, finish them off, Mamie. We're going to take some of them out while they're hot, because everyone knows baked items are delicious when they're hot. So anyway, that is our cinnamon rolls, and we're gonna take some out, and we're gonna share them with the neighbors, and we'll probably have one.
I think so. Oh,
Or at
maybe one
least-
or more.
Okay, so anyway, let me lift them up.
Okay.
You're gonna put the camera up, and then you come on in here
And we're gonna eat those
and
goods.
show us. Go ahead, put it up higher so we're in it too, because I want you to come too. Perfect. And then I'm gonna, that's it, right there, perfect. So you come on back here,
Okay.
and then you can really see how this matches your hair. There we go. Perfect. Now, what do you think, folks? Would you be proud to take these? Come on over, Mamie. Come on over. take these right out of the oven and put them on your breakfast morning. How does that taste?
I tell you what, I can't wait.
Okay,
I can't.
so there you are. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
We're not waiting till Thanksgiving.
God bless you guys. Okay, perfect. And I'll get the other ones out now. Ready? Okay, I'm going to take one of these out, right out of the oven, because Miss Mamie wants to try it.
Can't wait.
There we go.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm sorry you guys aren't here.
And let me, whoa, I dropped it on the floor.
That's
One
all
more
right.
mess I'll have to clean up.
That's all right.
Okay, let me get 2 forks. And let's see what these babies look like. Let me show you. Look at that cinnamon in there. Is that ever gorgeous? Now that's a cinnamon roll.
That's a cinnamon roll that I'm going to eat.
There you go. Let's give it a try.
Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
Light as a feather, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Enjoy every drop.
I will.
Look inside there. Look how nice and light that dough is. Nothing heavy about it. Okay.
All right.